we as a family, as a united whole, I'm talking about the rest of the siblings, except for the first family, obviously, because they're the ones benefiting. We are writing a letter to Mr. President seeking his intervention in this matter. Whichever way, he's the Minister for Petroleum. He should see what they have done with this with my father's oil company. I know that if this can be happening with such a company, God knows how many companies are also using that, and that might be also a reason why our subsidy and all these things are becoming unbearable. We need to tackle this thing at the source. So that's my own grasp. I don't have any issue with the money.
So your appeal is to the president now.
To Mr. President.
You're talking to President Tinubu.
He's my father's friend. He knows everything that my father suffered, how he suffered. He too has all these assets. Would he like things like this to happen in his own for his own children? I am appealing to him as the father of the nation and as the Minister for Petroleum to look into this matter. Like, this is going to be, like I said, 26 years since my father had died. By the time it's 2028, we're talking 30 years. Let it not be that we'll be doing in his own administration, in Ashwaju's administration, we'll be having this conversation come this time next year. Let him solve this problem once and for all. Call all the parties to order. Call Kola to order. Enough is enough. If you have been benefiting for 24 years, the money you have amassed in that 24 years, you should not even need Abiola's assets anymore. Leave the assets for the rest of the children that have suffered for the past 30 odd years.
So now, from the documents available, it is alleged that your brother, Kola Abiola, allegedly conniving with Dr. Akintoye Akindele and DuPont Midstream Company Limited to divert funds from your father's company. And these are heavy and weighty allegations. What more do you know about that?
These are not allegations. It's what it is. We were saying weighty allegations. This is what it is. This has been going on since before my father was even dead.
But you don't have the facts to if truly those funds are diverted, and that's why they are in the realm of allegations.
Don't I have the facts when it was never remitted to the estate? If you look at the will, it's suggested that everything will be pulled by the estate. There's a estate,
but the third party may not be aware that there is, because if you are dealing with someone and a company as such, how would a third party know?
Which is fine. So I'm not even going after DuPont, because they are basically just as hoodwinked as we all are. You know what I mean? DuPont would have been thinking that the money sent to Summitol is going to be divided and put into a pot for everybody. But meanwhile, it wasn't the case. That's why I'm going after my brother and saying that relationship that he had with DuPont is a means of shielding Summitol, because what would have happened would have been Summitol would basically not been declining any funds. DuPont is the one doing the deal, and the money is just collected from the back end. So you are putting, basically, it's like a false flag operation. It's a smoke screen. Somebody in front, and then you are doing all this shenanigans from the back. We wouldn't even have known about this issue if not for that case that they had with DuPont, that they were saying that $5 million is missing, or $5-point-something million is missing, that they haven't been paid by DuPont. So you can see that you are going after somebody saying you're not remitting money. You yourself are not remitting to the estate. So, like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm losing in this matter. I'm losing. My children are losing, and this is not what my father wanted. And I think that's all that matters, really, what he wanted.
So is there kind of consensus within the family, all the wives as listed in the will, and all the 49 children legally and are so established as the heirs of MKO Abiola? Do you guys have some kind of family meeting on this kind of matter, or you're just having pockets of?
Okay, so no, like now, like most of us are really like all adults now. Like I said, I'm about to be 40, so basically most of us are about to hit that 40 mark. We have a family group, Abiola beneficiaries, and at the moment, I have everyone. Like we are coming together. We're informing each other about the issues, and I'm speaking to you now on the group. I have about 30 of my siblings. And on that letter to Mr. President, it's not going to be Abdul and maybe the Kudi side of the family. It's going to be all of us, itemized as in signing on that agreement, the beneficiary seeking his intervention as a unified whole. So basically, we are united. We are. Like the younger group, all of us, we all see for me, I just think that it's just sad that for such a wonderful and vibrant family, like we're all trying our best, and this is not the first time we have tried to reach out. We've tried to go through the estates to solve these issues. You know, the Kola has taken the estate to court. You know, it's like everybody, he's just taking everybody to court. And with $50 million plus, I guess you can afford to be in court all your life. You know, because the way it works, as far as I'm concerned, we'll be there for the rest. I'll be there because this matter should be a clear and court case. There shouldn't be any issue. But I've been in court for 10 years, so you can see the situation. That's why I'm actually appealing to Mr. President, and we'll be beseeching him that enough is enough. You know, he's even aware of this matter more than most, because like you said, we have actually tried to use like the backdoor method, a way where we don't have to come into the public. But it seems like you know when you try to use that approach, you might come out as being weak. No, you're not being weak. I was trying to protect my father's integrity and image. That's why we didn't say anything. That's why we were all quiet.
So you're worried that legacy of MKO Abiola might die with what is going on?
No, I think the legacy is dying. It's dying over time. Think about it now. What was once Abiola called Wonder Loaf, Bookshop, all these things that Daddy created to employ Nigerian people, where are they today? Even the Summit Hall is working it's like more like a skeleton company. 50 plus people. Are you saying that that's a company? 50 people? You haven't even scratched the surface. We have 220 million people in the country. You are doing, we can definitely scale up. I'm sure that's not him working at Optimal. Maybe he's just trying to just a skeleton crew, 50 people just collecting handouts. That is not what my father wanted. My father, in his heyday, if you knew, he was one of the highest employers of Nigerian labor. So don't come and quote 50 people for me and tell me that this guy is achieving now. Matter of fact, I actually think he's even very, very mediocre. I think me alone, I think I've employed 50 people in my own time. And I'm not a chairman of Summit, or I'm not making $50 million. So I wonder what he's doing with all that money.
If you meet Kola Abiola today, one-on-one, face-to-face, physically, whether you're on the street of Abuja, what would you be telling him?
Ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀ka sọ ẹ fún mi lówó àbí kí ni mo sọ fún ẹ̀gbọ́n mi I see mo sometimes ọjọ́ kan mo rí ní RSVP mo kí náà ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀ka sọ ó dẹ̀ sọ pé he now told me that I'm an asshole. I say how am I there? So when we were leaving the RSVP, I followed him outside. Because I did that. People know, because of me, the MKO in my heart, and I'm very open to people. They started shouting MKO, looking at me. But they say, you people are very silly. Yeah, I kill one. So they now went to me, Kola. I said, yeah, boy, Kola, he now brought out 1,000 naira. I said, yeah, But that guy, where Lao go?
You're saying that he's very stingy.
Even my father used to say it now.
So maybe that's why, maybe your father saw it.
Even me say, go Dabai now. I'm Abiola in the end now. I even hear one story. I just come from one wedding party. And they said that when Kola came out, people were going to meet him to collect money. So he was trying to escape the people. He carried his car inside the gutter. So the same people you're running away from, how much do you want to give them? Maybe 3,000-4,000. They now help you carry your car. I hear you. That's what I'm saying. The man that did all these things, that had all this money, that was known across the world, had only 66 years on this planet. Kola is about to be 60. What has he accomplished in his life? That should be.
But MKO was very generous. He was, in fact, known as one of the people that have given, that people have benefited, and a whole lot of people will talk about him as the benefactor.
For somebody that sent 29,000 people to school in this country, I would like some of these people who my father had helped in some way to also identify with him now. And say that what Kola is doing is not right. Even you heard our Egbon now, Egbon Dele, the media guy, when he did that, when he was talking about his experience with my daddy when he was in the UK. When at the end of it, when he said he could Bolaje, he could call. This was not about death, killing the money. No, this is just about your mindset. It's a mindset thing. If daddy was black, if daddy was white, Kola is black. Complete opposite.
Really?
But do you when you see him, do you get that same? Daddy was larger than life. But he will spend 2 minutes with you, and you felt like he spent an hour. Every one of his children has an experience with him. Let me tell you a story about my father, and you used to know how busy this man was. He was very busy. There was a time in my house I used to always walk to the gates because I thought the gate was the most important place in the house. Any dignitary that comes in, the gate man was the first person to see him, even before the owner of the house. So I liked the gate. my dad noticed with all the work he was doing, he noticed that I always used to go to the gates. And that time, I didn't have a uniform. So those gatesmen would say, I should go and bring cold water for them. I'll run to the house. I'll bring cold water, give them. My dad now told them to make me a uniform. They brought it to my house. It was corporate guards that were in the house at the time. A corporate guard uniform. That made me sergeant. Hey, Allah. I was so psyched. I couldn't sleep. I was so excited. I couldn't sleep. I woke up at 4 o'clock and I went to go and report for duty at the front gate. So, one person, once upon a time, that was my first experience, and my dad was trying to teach me leadership and being trust in the position of power. Me, I think I was about like 6 or something. At one point, I used to run and go and get water for them. Once they gave me the uniform and the inspector, I was instructing them, like, you go to the back. Yeah. So I think that was my first experience with power and how he got me drunk. And I think I've learned my lesson from that time. So that's what it is, I think. But my father was just like a humble person. He was open. And you can see that from the document that he left, his last will and testament. This man was not somebody who did things sporadically. He thought through every process. He probably even knew that Kola was going to be a danger to his succession plan. And that's why he put some of those stipulations in that will. If you notice, the will was supposed to be entrusted to 2 of his white lawyers and NatWest Bank. NatWest Bank pulled out of the agreement after my father had died. And that, I would always hold them accountable for this mismanagement of the will. Because that now left room for Kola to manipulate his way into the process, now becoming a trustee. How can you be judge and jury in your own case? You are just a beneficiary. You don't have a right to detect.
So are you saying Kola is a trustee?
He got the UK judge in colludes with the 2 other lawyers to become a trustee, and I think also as in putting himself as a trustee was also able to stifle the progress of the thing. If you get what I'm trying to say, he was able to stifle the process, the smooth running of the will. So every chance to try to get, like even the lawyer that is in Nigeria now, Madam Boma, every time she had found a solution to any of our problems, and she called Kola to maybe seek clearance or something, Kola will say, leave it, don't do it. Or when she even tries to do it, Kola will take her to court. You wonder, what is your role in this whole matter, if not just to collect and move on with your life?